to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true.
It's so important to be able to see people that look like you and practice like you doing these mitzvot.
In my experience, it feels like I'm closer and more connected to God. It's very spiritual for me.
For me, the sacred act of putting on tefillin, of having actual cloth, actual pieces of Torah with words of Torah on them on my body, tell me that my body is sacred and something to be proud of and something that is worthy of God and worthy of Torah.
I'm gonna take out my tefillin shel yad, my hand tefillin, make sure that's the right one so we don't skip over a mitzvah. And I'm gonna unwrap it. And I'm gonna make sure that the straps don't hit the ground. We keep holy things off of the ground. Take the box off, put it right there. Then I'm gonna put it on my non-dominant hand. That's my left hand because I'm a righty.
So I hold the box in front of me and put my left arm through the loop, positioning the box on my lower bicep, more or less positioned towards my heart. I also try and keep this knot as close to the box as possible. Once the box is positioned, I recite the first blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehaniach tefillin. After the first blessing, I do another wrap on my upper arm, just to hold it there secure, and then move to the 7 lower wraps. 2, 3. As I'm wrapping, I count to myself. 5, 6, 7. Once I'm done with my 7 wraps, I take the remainder of the strap and bring it just across my palm as a little bit of a holding point.
The next thing I do is take out my shel rosh. This one has some lines on it and a shin on the side. And rest that on my head. Oh my goodness. And before I do any adjusting, I say the second blessing, which is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tefillin. And then I adjust it to make sure the knot is centered in the back of my neck and the box is centered around my hairline on the top of my head, and the straps are not tangled, but in fact hanging down nicely with the pretty shiny black part facing out. And while I do that, I say the phrase, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
And at that point, I'm done putting on my tefillin shel rosh, and I'm going to return to the hand. I unwrap the straps that were around my palm, and that leaves me with the strap coming up across the front side of my hand, in between my thumb and my pointer finger. I bring the strap down and under, coming up around my middle finger. I'm going to wrap 3 times around the middle finger, and as I wrap each wrap, I'm going to say a line from Hosea. Ve'erastichli le'olam, ve'erastichli b'tzedek u'v'mishpat u'v'chesed u'v'rachamim, ve'erastichli ba'emunah v'yadat et Adonai. At that point, I take the strap, come behind my 4th finger, my ring finger, and then I bring the strap back up to meet the original strap between my thumb and my pointer. I have a V shape, and then I want to complete the shin, so I bring the strap back under my hand and down the center, creating the middle of the shin right there. Now I have all of this remaining strap, and I'm just going to wrap it around that middle part of the shin. At this point, I just want to make sure it's tight so that it stays out of my way while I'm praying and it's not a distraction. So I tuck the extra strap under, and at that point, I am completely wrapped.
I'm now going to take the tefillin off, and I'm going to remove them in the reverse order in which I place them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unwind the straps around my palm, and I'm going to unwind the straps around my middle finger, and then I'm going to wrap it back. Some people do very carefully, getting the whole thing back along the middle of their hand. I usually leave a bunch of it loose. I think that's okay. And that then brings me to remove the tefillin shel rosh, the head tefillin, putting it back in its case. And here's the way I do it. I take the kesher, the knot of the tefillin, and place it right at the bottom of the box of the case, and then take the two wings, the two sides of the tefillin that are formed that way, or the strap that's formed that way, which then allows me to wrap each of them on either side. I don't tuck them under, I just hold it in place. And then I put it back in my tefillin bag, which will then be at the bottom, so it'll be the last thing I take out when I do this tomorrow. I then unwrap my tefillin shel yad, and even though it's only been on for a couple of minutes, there can already be seen some marks on my hand, which will last a while. It'll be a reminder for a good part of the day. I'm going to put the shel yad into its box. Again, being careful to make sure that the kesher, the knot, is tight against the box, even when I'm not wearing it. And wrap it halfway. I usually do it about 10 times on one side, and then the rest of it on the other side. And then I put that into the bag. So it's now going to be the first thing I take out tomorrow, and close it up. And I can then roll my shirt sleeve back down, and I can take off my tallis.
Two forms of dust, of the one and the many, a vapor to moisten them both into clay. Two hands to form us, to guide us and shape us, until we are ready to walk away.